This is not about fear, and it's not about paranoia. It's about pattern recognition. Criminal behavior follows steps, and the testing phase is almost always the first. Understand the tests, and you often stop the crime before it begins. This is crime signals. To understand these signals, we must first look at the cold logic behind them. For a criminal, the first move is never the act itself. It's the calculation. Criminals think in probabilities. They don't ask, "Can I do this?" They ask, "Will this person notice? Will they react? Will anyone intervene? Is this worth the risk?" Testing reduces uncertainty. A criminal who tests first is deciding whether to proceed or move on. But what does this calculation look like in real time? How do you distinguish a normal interaction from a calculated probe? A test is not violence, it's information gathering. Tests can look like a question, a comment, a small boundary push, an accidental touch, a request for help. Most people ignore these moments because they seem normal. But criminals are watching how you respond, not what you say. It starts with the most common vulnerability we all share, our attention. The first signal is often a check of your mental presence. One of the most common tests is distraction. Criminals watch for phone use, head-down posture, lack of environmental awareness. They may walk close to you, pass by slowly, drop something nearby, stand within your personal space. They're checking one thing: are you present or elsewhere? Awareness disrupts this test immediately. If physical awareness is present, the criminal may shift tactics, moving from your environment to your social instincts. Many crimes rely on social pressure. Criminals test politeness by asking unnecessary questions, making small requests, creating mild discomfort, waiting to see if you hesitate. Politeness delays reaction. Hesitation lowers resistance. Clear, calm responses raise risk for the criminal. If you pass the social test, they may try to narrow the gap, testing not just your voice, but the physical space around you. Boundaries are tested before they are crossed. This may involve standing too close, sitting uncomfortably near, following briefly, matching your pace. The criminal is watching. Do you adjust? Do you react? Or do you freeze? Non-reaction often signals permission. When physical space doesn't yield a result, the next signal is mental. They attempt to dismantle your clarity through deliberate chaos. Confusion creates vulnerability. Some criminals ask unclear questions, change topics quickly, create small chaos, interrupt routines. Confusion slows decision-making. Slower decisions equal opportunity. Criminals prefer targets who look unsure. While confusion slows your decision-making, your position in the environment determines your safety. This leads to the final critical check. Isolation doesn't mean being alone. It means appearing unsupported. Criminals observe who stands apart, who avoids proximity, who occupies edges of space, who lacks environmental awareness. Isolation reduces consequences. Reducing isolation raises risk for the offender. Recognizing these 5 tests is half the battle. But how exactly do you make a criminal decide that you are not worth the risk? Tests stop when risk rises. Risk rises when you acknowledge surroundings, adjust position, change behavior, maintain awareness, trust discomfort. None of this requires confrontation. Presence alone disrupts plans. Disruption doesn't have to be dramatic or loud. In fact, the most effective responses are often the most subtle ones. Crime signals does not promote aggression. Effective responses include repositioning toward light or people, adjusting posture calmly, creating distance, ending unnecessary interaction, leaving early when discomfort persists. You don't need to explain. You don't need to justify. You only need to remove ease. People miss tests because they fear overreacting. They prioritize politeness. They dismiss intuition. They assume danger looks obvious. Criminals rely on this. Early signals feel subtle by design. The goal isn't to live in fear, but to live in awareness. Because once the curtain is pulled back, the shadows lose their power. Criminals don't start with crime. They start with testing. If you recognize the test, the crime often never happens. Stay alert. Stay aware. This is Crime Signals.